Alright folks, welcome to episode 99 of the podcast. It is Clark here with Phil.
99.
So this week in part 1 I'm going to be speaking about
99.
a bit, nice.
Yeah.
We're going to be speaking a bit about the recent comments from Scorsese, Coppola and a few other ones off that. Be interested to see what you guys think. I suppose they are.
Do let us know.
Be interesting to see because some people love it, some people hate it, so see which one camp you fall in. Part 2 we're going to talk about the new Rise of Skywalker trailer that dropped literally today as of recording. If you haven't watched it, watch it because we're going to talk about it, so spoiler alert and all that. And then part 3 we're back on to The Boys. We're going to be going through episode 5. So again, yeah, spoilers for that. If you haven't seen it, and maybe I don't know if you're doing a watch along or whatever with us, then obviously you're gonna have to get caught up. But yeah, that is gonna be our episode today, folks, and we hope you enjoy. Woo! So Mr. Scorsese was the first to weigh in. Just back on the 12th of October, so a wee while ago now. So basically he was
literally 10 days ago.
Yeah, right enough. He was doing a lecture, it's a David Lean lecture. I'm assuming that's at like a uni or something, maybe, I'm not sure. But basically the quote from him regarding the Marvel movies is, "Theatres have become amusement parks. That is all fine and good, but don't invade everything else in that sense. That it's fine and good for those who enjoy that type of film. And by the way, knowing what goes into them, going into them now, I admire what they do. It's not my kind of thing. It simply isn't. It's creating another kind of audience that thinks cinema is that." So obviously he is talking about Marvel movies in this quote. Basically, he's obviously not a fan.
Which is fine.
Yeah, they're not for everyone. Like Coppola has
more direct.
Yeah, like he has
approach.
He's taken no prisoners.
He's basically said Scorsese politely said it.
Yeah, like so he's 80 years old. Not that it really matters, but just for the record, he's 80 years old. This is Coppola, I should say. So anybody that doesn't know who he is, he directed like Godfather, Apocalypse Now. Anything else? The two big ones, I would guess.
Oh yeah, I mean Godfather.
Obviously, everyone knows that film. If you don't, then I just.
They did all the Godfathers.
So. Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then Scorsese, he, as I say, he also said, sorry, I should say that he said that the Avengers movie weren't cinema, basically. But Scorsese directed, again, anybody that doesn't know who he is, you may have heard of his films. So there's like Goodfellas he directed, Taxi Driver,
Departed.
Yeah, Departed. Irishman's on the way out soon on Netflix.
Did that as well.
Raging Bull. He did Raging Bull.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Coppola said in response.
Wolf of Wall Street right enough actually too.
Oh, so he did. So he said, when Martin Scorsese says that the Marvel pictures are not cinema, he's right, because we expect to learn something from cinema. We expect to gain something, some enlightenment, some knowledge, some inspiration. I don't know that anyone gets anything out of seeing the same movie over and over again. Martin was kind when he said it's not cinema. He didn't say it's despicable, which I just say it is. Now, my response straight away is that he's obviously never seen them, or they don't relate to him, because in the films he's saying you don't learn anything, all that sort of stuff. You know, how much of a turning point for, you know, black people in cinema was Black Panther, for example. You know, that was the first time a predominantly black cast were on there for you know, as I say, most other films have, let's be quite honest, a predominantly white cast.
Well, same thing with obviously Mulan as well, coming across with Disney as well.
Yeah,
so
it's obviously mostly
all Asian.
But
I think it's all Asian cast, I think.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
I think so.
But again, like,
could be wrong though.
It's easier for white people to relate to superhero movies. So whenever that Black Panther film come out with predominantly black cast, I should say.
Yeah.
You know, that's a new way of sort of relating to the movie. So like he's sort of saying you don't learn anything, but realistically, I have to say, I don't know, Black Panther.
It was a moving point, really.
It was good. Cinema. It was a good movie. Now it's not my favorite Marvel movie because the likes of Endgame, Infinity War, etc.
Oh yeah,
are, you know, you can't up there. But Black Panther for me certainly, it gave me like, it was like a thinker because you're sort of like, geez, I never actually thought that, and that is just how society is. It's awful. I never actually thought about not being able to relate to someone on TV or in the movies.
Yeah. Suppose, yeah.
You know, because until now, I know Black Panther probably wasn't the first thing that ever brought it up, but certainly it was the first time I went to the cinema. I was like,
It was probably because we're all invested into Marvel, really, and the fact that, you know, superhero films are the big thing now, so everyone went to see it, and everyone can get that general consensus of like, well, you know, this is a massive film, so everyone could share the same opinion. Unfortunately, there's obviously going to be people out there that don't share the same opinion, but
yeah, but I mean,
who cares about them?
As Scorsese says, they're not for everyone.
Yeah, which is completely fine. Like, I mean, it's okay to not like something. I mean, there's some films I'm sure we don't like about Scorsese and Coppola. I mean, I'm not really a big fan of Coppola's work.
I like The Godfather.
I like The Godfather, yeah, but apart from that, there's nothing really. But everyone was saying like gangster films as well. I watched Graham Norton the other day, and Robert De Niro was on it, obviously promoting The Irishman, and like he said, you know, back in the day, gangster films were the big thing because gangsters were the big thing.
Yeah.
And now
superheroes
are the big thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's no such thing as superheroes in real life. But comics have been around for a long time. Well, you know, not super strength people or extra aggression.
People with super abilities.
Yeah, and comics have been around for a long time, and they're only getting their shine now. So why in trying?
Gangsters are criminals.
Yeah.
It's horrifying criminal activity.
I mean, it's.
But you know what I mean, like
everyone was interested in that sort of thing back in the day, like you know, like Al Capone and you know like, what do you call that? Boardwalk Empire and stuff.
Yeah.
Like it was class TV show, but I mean, though they had their head, like I mean, still even now in 2019, The Irishman's coming back, and it's still relevant in some sort of way. But the reason being because you've got Joe Pesci, you've got Robert De Niro, you've got Al Pacino, and you got Martin Scorsese directing it. So that's like the mob cast basically, really, and like that's completely fine. No one's saying it's a bad idea. And 30, 50 years from now, people are bringing some sort of superhero film out. No one's going to say it's a bad idea. It's only because they're relevant now. I don't understand why they're not cinema. There's no reason for them.
Part of me thinks it could just be a
jealousy thing.
No, marketing ploy. You hit the big guy, and everyone in prison's scared of you. So why don't we just have a go at Marvel movies right before The Irishman hits Netflix?
But then, what's the reason for Coppola to say anything? He hasn't got anything coming out.
No, but he's just saying that probably being asked. You know, that's a gangster movie you created, probably the greatest gangster movie of all time.
But then also Jennifer Aniston, sure, she says stuff. I've got the quote here. She says, "It wasn't until the last couple of years when these streaming services were just sort of exploding with this amount of quality that I actually started to think, wow, that's better than what I just did." And then you're seeing what's available out there, and it's just diminishing in terms of its big Marvel movies or things that I'm not just asked to do or really that interested in living in the green screen. So basically she's saying that streaming services are better than theatre now.
She hasn't been relevant since like 2003, so I wouldn't...
I like Jennifer Aniston, don't be wrong, but...
When did Friends end?
Sometime in the 2000s, don't really mind and like don't really care about that show.
Name one good film she's made.
Well, she doesn't really... I mean, she's been in a couple of good films. I liked We're the Millers.
Okay.
I liked that one that was on Netflix, but I can't remember the name of it.
What one?
The one with Jennifer, not with Jennifer, with the murder mystery one.
That was terrible.
I enjoyed that.
Oh my god.
I enjoyed it. I like Adam Sandler, so I'm gonna be biased anyway. But I mean, I like Along Came Polly. I think was the one with Jennifer and Ben Stiller.
Could have been, don't know.
But again, they're old enough movies.
But what I'm saying is, like, at that time, chick flicks were all over the show, and she was just jumping in because she was attractive. So
I would say
that. She was a sex symbol, and everyone wanted the Rachel hair and all that crap.
Was there such a thing?
Yeah, the Rachel was a haircut.
Oh dear.
So, but what I'm saying is that like she can't really talk. All she did was jump into what pitted her, and realistically, right now, Marvel's huge because there are geniuses in the likes of Kevin Feige, and you know, you can name every single one of the directors pretty much because what they made is unbelievable.
And the actors as well.
Yeah, and obviously, you know, the actors involved. But I mean, just in terms of creative minds behind it, you know, Jon Favreau, certainly, I've got a quote from him that I can read out later. But basically, like, he, in fact, you know, I'll read it now because he has responded to this. But he directed, you know, Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2.
Mm-hmm.
He cast, he fought for Robert Downey Jr. Imagine he hadn't done that.
Yeah, well, I mean, imagine he hadn't have done anything. I mean, he brought Iron Man into our screen, so
yeah,
we practically have him to thank for everything that's happened since.
Well,
then.
I mean, if Iron Man had flopped,
Hitman's Kevin Feige, obviously, but I mean, everyone else along the way, really.
But if they'd have flopped, none of this would have happened.
Yeah,
but they didn't.
Yeah.
These sort of stories, because of how they're made, like they're beautifully made. They have films, but like even on top of like the way the stories are knitted together, and there are messages in them, you know, like it or not, you know, Black Panther's, I think, is the perfect example because it's not subtle.
Yeah.
You know, like in terms of a message, there's no subtlety to it.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, each hero has their own sort of traits, you know, like Captain America, be honest, be strong, be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Black Widow, your past doesn't matter. You know, there's so many. Well, it does matter, but you can be more than your past, essentially.
Yeah.
But you know, like there's things that you can read in to each character. But anyway, Jon Favreau. So this is in response to what he said, what was said. I already read. So as I say, he directed Iron Man 1 and 2. You know, he's currently doing The Mandalorian, which is going to be a show obviously coming out.
We'll get to see. Thanks, Disney.
Yeah, so basically he came out and he said, these two guys are my heroes and they have earned the right to express their opinions. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing if they didn't carve the way. They served as a source of inspiration. You can go all the way back to Swingers, for example. They can express whatever opinion they like and we'll leave it at that. Now, obviously he's just sort of saying everyone's entitled to their opinion whether you like it or not. That's essentially what I take from that.
Well, I would agree with it.
Now, in terms of he spoke about the changing media landscape as well.
Yeah.
Specifically, Martin Scorsese made his latest movie for Netflix because nobody else would actually put the money towards it.
Mm-hmm.
So what he said is there's a great deal of uncertainty of where things are going to land, but there are opportunities in that time of change where you can come forward with a vision and say, I'd like to do this. And there are a lot of people who are vying for content, so you're seeing a lot of passion projects come through.
Mm-hmm.
You see Scorsese with The Irishman. I don't know that would have been possible with that budget level and the technology required to tell that story in a more traditional model.
Well, it's being released in cinemas and on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but Netflix are obviously fronting the bill.
100%.
So,
yeah. So if they weren't around, basically that film would have been made.
Yeah,
almost taking interest in it.
It's got a pretty high rating at the moment. It's sitting on 8.6.
Like I do like Martin Scorsese's films. Don't get me wrong. I don't not like either of the people. It's just, again, they're entitled to their own opinion. I just have a different opinion. That's all.
I'm trying to. Holy crap!
What?
Apparently an estimated budget. Now this is only because we'll never actually know. Netflix will never tell us.
Yeah.
Only in the US. Apparently in the US alone they spent 159 million.
I'm not surprised. With
that probably
technology.
doesn't include any wage.
No.
You could probably take out all the actors' wages from that.
Probably.
And I wouldn't be surprised that was just like advertising.
Well, I dare say, Robert De Niro and Scorsese are the ones that worked on the film predominantly. It was Al Pacino and Joe Pesci. They tried to get in. And
Anna, what do you call her in it as well? Anna Faris, is that her name? She's in True Blood and stuff.
I don't know.
Anna Paquin, sorry, that's her name.
Oh, Anna Paquin's in it? Okay, cool. I quite actually like that. She was what do you call her? What do you call the woman? X-Men.
Yeah. Rogue?
That's the one.
Yeah.
Oh.
I would have got you there, it's fine.
Yeah. But yeah, I am looking forward to the film. And again, I'm not really a big fan of Coppola's work apart from the likes of, Godfather 2 and 3. Nah. Godfather 1 was good. But apart from that, Scorsese's always going to be, his films are class, but to me at the minute, I think Tarantino's up there with the better directors. And if he comes out and says something about Marvel films, I'm going to slap him.
Yeah.
But again, they're entitled to their own opinion. Times change and you adapt with the times, and if you're saying that it isn't cinema, just give me a reason why it isn't cinema.
Well, he said because of the, you don't learn anything.
But that's not a reason, because that's not true. That's because he hasn't watched the films. Like, I'd like for him to go in. I mean, an 80-year-old man going into Iron Man 1 is going to be very difficult to try and watch all the films, back to back and be like, I learned something from that, because unless you read the comics and unless you know the world, then what's really the point? But it's brought people that don't even read the comics in to watch the films as well. Like, and if they've come out and said that they've learned, they've went from Iron Man. People get their own opinions on characters as well. They have Iron Man. Some people like Iron Man. Some people like Thor. I mean, I love Thor, but everyone just likes a different character for certain reasons, because they can relate to the characters. And is that not cinema? Is that not, you can watch a film like a sci-fi film and still have sort of relatable things to someone like in space that you've never been to space, but you can feel exactly how he's feeling because he's missed his family, even if you're like 10 miles away. Like, you can still have relatable actions with someone. Like, it doesn't matter.
That's it. It's like,
it's a lot of people, so stupid.
A lot of people related to the Guardians, like 1 and 2. I mean, that like Peter Quill in the first one, it's a lot to do with like his mum, and he didn't really have a family, and then he found one in Friends, and then in number 2, obviously his dad. He finds out he's got a dad, and he just wants to be with his dad, sort of thing, and then his dad's pretty bad, like, and again, it's like essentially a lot of the message in that is like the family is the one you choose. You can pick who you want to have around, but at the same time, James Gunn, speaking of the Guardians, basically has come out. That was a happy accident, by the way. But he basically come out and he posted on Instagram as a picture of just before Groot decides that he's gonna sacrifice himself. Yeah, and in the first one, basically his his quote is, "Many of our grandfathers thought all gangster movies were the same, often called them despicable. Some of our great grandfathers thought the same of westerns and believed the films of John Ford, Sam Peckinpah and Sergio Leone were all exactly the same. I remember a great uncle to whom I was raving about Star Wars. He responded by saying, I saw that when it was called 2001 and boy was it boring. Superheroes are simply today's gangsters, cowboys / outer space adventures. Some superhero films are awful, some are beautiful, some like westerns and gangster movies, and before that, just movies. Not everyone would be able to appreciate them, even some geniuses, and that's okay."
Yeah.
So it's more or less, I suppose it's funny because like he's sort of just reflecting what we said there, which is that not everybody is gonna like.
Yeah,
but it's just because it's I suppose it's a bit obvious, isn't it? Like,
it is common sense, really.
There are some films I have not enjoyed. Like, as I say, that Murder Mystery I thought was okay. Given it out of 10, maybe a 5. That I would give it that low.
The thing is, I would probably give it a 5 or a 6, but I did enjoy it just because I like Adam Sandler.
See, I prefer his earlier stuff. But
so would I. I mean, one of my favourite films is probably Billy Madison or Happy Gilmore or Little Nicky or all of his sort of like, even Big Daddy and stuff for the Sprouse twins as well. I quite enjoyed that, but yeah, we're all going to enjoy films. It's just, I just think it's funny. These guys have such a big influence in that world, and for them to come out and say something, fair enough, given your own opinion, that's fine, but to come out and say something like that is just crazy. Like,
it could be a bit of ego too, like, because obviously those guys, I think Scorsese might have been like, oh crap, because he sort of pulled back in that first comment I read. He's sort of pulling back his.
Well, he did say that he appreciates what goes into them, and as you should, like. Especially, I appreciate what's going into his new film, The Irishman, with the youthfication of Robert De Niro, and
it wouldn't have happened.
Yeah. So like, what's your beef? What's your beef with it?
Like that's what I think is sort of funny. Like, I think a part of it could be ego. Like, I think a part of it could be
more than likely
that they're looking at it going, well, hold on a minute, how's that film grossed nearly $3 billion whenever I made The Godfather, which is one of the best films critically
debatable
in the world. Scorsese's looking at it, same sort of thing. I've made XYZ. How is that grossed more than every film I've ever made? And that probably isn't the case, but that's
But why can't they all just live together and be like, oh cool, I understand it's a marketing thing where you have to be like, well, I'm gonna create the best film ever, and no one knew exactly to the extent of what Marvel was going to become and with those films. And it's the same thing now with the pre-sales apparently for Skywalker are just blown out, like they're blown
Pound the ground game out of the water.
So like no one knows what's going to happen, and the fact that even James Gunn was saying there about Star Wars way back in his day, Star Wars is still relevant today.
Mm-hmm.
So like
it's 42 years or something.
But why haven't they gone on and said Star Wars is in cinema? Like, what's the difference between that? It's still space.
What? But I wonder whether because it was out in the 70s that they're like, but that's my boy.
Comics were out in the 40s and 30s.
I know, but like
it doesn't matter.
To them, the reason, first of all, I started thinking about it whenever I knew we were going to talk about this. I started thinking, and I was like, okay, so what are they basing this off? They're basing this off 20 plus films.
Mm-hmm. And they've all
that
grossed.
They are doing. They've all grossed hundreds of millions. You know, it's the highest grossing. I know it's stupid to say, but it is the highest grossing, series of movies ever. And I'd be surprised if anything ever comes close ever again.
I wouldn't be if there was 20 movies or something else. I'm sure they would eventually.
They would need to be that quality.
Yeah, they would be.
You know, obviously Avatar sat for a long time, but again, it had like 1 trillion releases in 2D and 3D and 5D. But you know, the thing is, what I was thinking is that because there's so many of them, I would give you money if they've watched them all. There's no way they have watched every single Marvel movie.
They're probably very busy.
Because, well, not even. It's just, I can't imagine that they really enjoy movies like that. That's obviously not their style.
Yeah, well, like, come up with comments like that, it would be an obvious statement to make.
You know, but what I mean is, like, even if there was one out, I don't think it would have been their style. I don't think they would have sat down and been like, good job, John. This Iron Man's pretty good. You know, I think they would have watched it and been like, what the hell was that?
It's each director has their own way of directing things.
I'm not at risk of sounding ageist. It could be an age thing, in that.
Well, Stan Lee was like, he's old.
Yeah,
but he was old.
Well, he was old, but like the way he was treated for a long time by Disney and stuff wasn't right. So
I mean, there's still 8-year-olds now that still like those films, though. Like there are
most likely, but what I mean is those guys are
where they came from. I think
exactly that's what I'm saying. Like, and now because of the age they are and what they've been brought up with, now that this is all new and flashy and clean and blah blah blah, they're sort of like, don't know about that. Like, you know, Scorsese, as you say, he appreciates how the film is put together and the effort that goes in, etc.
Which every director should.
But you can't say that you appreciate how hard a film was to put together and all the rest, the work that went in, and then say, but it's like a theme park. A theme park's a mess.
Yeah.
You've been to one? Like, has he ever been?
Yeah.
You know, and as I say, obviously I'm a bit biased, but
we both are, but you can see their argument where it comes to, like, they've basically they've done loads of films, but their predominant thing was gangster films.
Yeah. More
mobster films, really.
Certainly more serious.
Goodfellas,
but
and, yeah, they've all been serious and actiony. Yeah, I mean they've all been very dramatic roles. But like Marvel has all of that put into one. It's got comedy, it's got drama, it's got action, it's got everything in it. It's just it has everything for everyone. And I mean, I'm gonna say like I like other films more than some Marvel films. That's just completely fine. But I'm not gonna sit there and say that they're not cinema. They don't deserve to be in the theaters. And even if they were all Netflix films, it's still cinema to me. Like, even if they're not released in the cinema,
I won't be paying to go see The Irishman in the cinema.
Oh, it's in Netflix.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why would you bring it in the cinema?
Well, it's only in the US.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. So again, stupid.
I think it's only in the US, and then it comes to the UK Netflix, and then it's out in the US Netflix later on.
Anybody that has any sense that hasn't already used a 30-day Netflix free trial?
Yeah, I know.
Or just fancies a new email address.
But there are obviously some people like the old generation still like to go to the cinema and watch films like that. So.
See, I do like going to the cinema, but if it's for free somewhere else, then I will probably.
But you would do the Marvel film.
Yeah, probably. But again, I've went to see every other one in the cinema. Whereas if I hadn't, I wouldn't have.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
I've invested now to go and see everyone in the cinema.
Yeah.
Like, you know. In the same way, like, ever since I've been alive and Star Wars has been coming out, I've went to see it in the cinema.
Yeah, I'd like to see a full, proper cinema saga, though, where you could just go and see them all in, like, a couple
I'm very tempted to go to the one in Carrick.
The triple show? Yeah.
Starts at 6 and ends at, like, 3 in the morning. I'm tempted to do that. Because it's my work Christmas dinner the next day. And I might go in at, like, 11 and then leave early and just use some toilet.
Yeah.
So
I may as well, I suppose. Like, it's something to do. I mean,
just thinking about it.
Watch all the films together would be unreal.
Yeah, it'd be very good.
Yeah, it's just it was just weird seeing those comments and stuff on Twitter. It was just, I mean, for
out of the blue, weren't they?
Yeah, like I've always watched, like, I've always loved Martin Scorsese stuff, like I always have, and it just, reading that was just like a punch to the stomach. I was like, honestly, it was just gotten to me. I was like, why on earth would he say that? Because I mean, I've always thought him to be this, you know, respectful. I mean, he is of his actors. Like,
it's a good word. It's very disrespectful.
Yeah, but it is though. Like, it's disrespectful of any actor that tries to put 100%, 110% into their work. And fair enough, you know, they've been criticised for many of their films and stuff, but for someone to come out and be like, yeah, your films are crap, basically,
They're despicable was the word.
Despicable that Coppola said, yeah, but for like Scorsese did, he was sort of, you know, he put a bit of sugar on top of it. He sweetened it up a little bit, really, but his message was they're not good films and they shouldn't be in the cinema.
I was thinking, do you reckon that's anything to do with Disney Plus taking the Disney stuff away from Netflix?
Potentially, but
and then Netflix being like, "How we slapper?"
But then then get it Disney, don't get it Marvel. You know what I mean? Like, it's a completely different thing to write off. I mean, like, they've grew up with the comics. You know, they've been around the comics. If they've not read them, that's fine. You know,
probably not.
But I mean,
Coppola's 80, so he was born in the 30s. So
the comics would have been like the Beano comics, and
no, well, that wouldn't have been over there. But I mean, you're talking. Yeah, I suppose he probably would have been in his teenage years, maybe, by the time they really.
Well, was it not the Dandy comics as well? Were they not?
Well, they're British.
Were they British as well?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just think that
Detective Comics.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's
DC just.
Yeah, I don't know. It baffles me that. I mean, you get the same thing with like musical artists, but that's more common, I think, just because it's you're obviously trying to compete every single week for the top spot, whereas, you know, movies. It takes yonks to make them. It could take 3 to 4 years to make them. I mean, especially this has been like a 10-year process. Like, and
you could drop The Irishman tomorrow alongside a Marvel movie, and it is not gonna win. The Marvel movie will beat it in box office.
To be fair, I don't know. Like, I
100% would.
I genuinely don't know because
I mean a new Marvel movie. I don't mean one that's ready.
Oh well, then yeah.
But you know. That's what I'm saying. Like, maybe it is just a bit of professional jealousy, but at the same time, you know, personally, I thought Twilight was a biggest waste of time. But at the same time,
I don't know who directed that.
I couldn't tell you. I know he wrote the books, but that's all. But you know, obviously, some people like really, really love Twilight, and that was like the pinnacle of their cinema going career. Will be to have seen the 4 Twilight movies. I think.
I don't know. I haven't watched.
I think the last one was Split. I could be wrong, but I think it was Split. But what I'm saying is that I would never come out and say they are despicable. They are not cinema. They are just trash. Blah blah blah.
But we don't have that right to say it because we're not directors.
We do because we pay to go to the cinema.
Yeah.
If anything, we have more right than he does.
Yeah. It's just, it baffles me though. Like, I just don't understand at all.
He gets paid.
Yeah.
To do this.
Yeah, we pay him.
We pay him to watch his crap.
But we don't have an opinion.
Well, not that his crap is all really good, but what I mean is like
I disagree. I just disagree. It's just his films are okay. They're not unreal, but that's just my opinion.
Like,
but if he wants to get at me, then that's fine.
come at
me, Frank. Come at me, Frank. Let's go.
But you know, it is there could be any number of reasons. I think it is a bit to do with personal taste. I think a bit of it is to do with,
which is completely fine,
the fact that what he has been involved in, as you say, I mean Coppola at this stage, a lot of what he has been involved in has been dramatic, has been serious. Although try and tell me that Tony Stark dying wasn't dramatic, but you know,
or serious,
or you know what I mean, like all that sort of stuff. So like,
yeah,
you know, each Marvel movie, in my opinion, has its serious moments, funny moments, action, all that sort of stuff, and it does reach out to a wide audience. Whereas, you know, for example, Godfather's in 18, and it was out 40 years ago. So
72, I think it was.
Sounds right. So maybe 50 years ago then. But you know, what I'm saying is that he back then made a movie for the time.
Yeah, as we all are now.
And that is what, in my opinion, not just Marvel movies, but some superhero movies. You know, I know that we spoke about the Joker last week, in part 3, saying first thing we said was it was not a comic book movie, and it absolutely was not. But it was based off a comic book character. Mm-hmm. Certainly, the name was.
Well, we weren't expecting a comic book movie just by the trailer anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But whether they like it or not, Marvel is going to be a stamp in movie history for a long time now. So either get on board or shut up.
Yeah, I mean,
simple as
obviously
that. Like,
Marvel, their new movies start straight away next year again. Mm-hmm. You know, we're starting straight into a new phase, and you know, there's obviously a lot of the TV shows we went through all of this sort of stuff in previous episodes, but all in,
go listen to them.
Yeah, all in. They are not going away, and likewise with Star Wars. Yes, the saga, this particular saga, or it's not even called that anymore. Saga's only 6.
Yeah, it does say it's the end of a saga for some reason.
Does it?
Yeah.
End of an era.
The Skywalker saga.
I thought saga was 6. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm probably wrong, but anyway.
That's what it says online.
It's the end of the saga. Does it not say Skywalker story?
I don't know what it says. Well, I'm pretty sure it says Skywalker saga on the Star Wars thing.
Google maybe saga and see whether saga means 6. But you probably find that I'm wrong. But anyway, either way, like, you know, that the actual fact that Star Wars is ending this particular story. Mm-hmm. No, it's just an old story. It's a long story.
A long story of heroic
Okay, there you go. I thought it was 6, but there you are. So, in fact, I'm so stupid. It's called the Infinity Saga, and there's like 20 plus movies. But anyway, so the Skywalker Saga, yes. And Star Wars and Skywalker.
You're on part 3 already.
So yeah, the Skywalker Saga obviously coming to an end does not mean that Star Wars movies are done.
No,
there's so many more to come. There's the Benioff and Weiss. They've got 3.
Yeah, but they're not cinema.
They are?
No, they're not.
I thought it was a cinema experiment. Oh, it's Ryan Johnson has.
No, they're not cinema though.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
Yeah, Ryan
Johnson. Then Weiss does have a DB. Benioff and Weiss definitely are doing movies, aren't they?
Yes.
It was originally a series.
They are.
They were offered. Now it's movies. Yeah. That's what it was.
That's right.
So, like, you know, there's at least 6 movies, a lot of TV shows. You know, Obi-Wan's coming back.
With the Mandalorian, obviously.
Mandalorian's coming
for the UK in 2043, I think.
At least.
Yeah.
I mean, the earliest, if we're lucky. But, you know, there's a whole load of... There's a lot more... Like, basically, in my opinion, like, nerds now run the cinema. So
maybe that's the problem. Maybe it's not actual cinema goers that run it now. But again, like, it doesn't matter. Like,
but the movies are so high quality.
Yeah. I can guarantee if they had the knowledge of what Kevin Feige had, they'd be doing the exact same thing.
Well, there probably is a reason they didn't.
That's what I'm saying.
You know,
if they had
woven a story from beginning to end, well, certainly to a point within the story.
And the worst thing about it is, he's had it all written in front of him. Realistically, he's had it in comics for years. All he's done is pick parts of it and went, "Yeah, Joe, I'm going to make my own thing out of this." Mm-hmm. And they've had to think of things out of thin air. And I appreciate Martin Scorsese's films for your man, not so much. But again, like, you have to buy it down. But like, yeah, you've done well. You've done a good job.
Well, as
you have to give credit where it's due. It's as simple as that.
They carved the path for where cinema is now, because
100%.
Some of the stuff that was done then is just, it was crazy for the time. Like.
Yeah, exactly.
And you do have to say they're both geniuses, no doubt in that. You know, whenever
just not with their words.
Well, obviously, I mean, as Fabry said, everyone's entitled to their opinion, even if theirs is wrong. I added that, but you know, he basically said,
"Could you imagine Fabric with that? They're entitled to their opinions, even though they're wrong."
But you know, technically, it's true. Like,
yeah.
They are allowed their own opinion, and it made the news because they are unpopular opinions, I would say, with the majority of people. I wouldn't say everyone, because that's not the case. Some people just do not enjoy.
There were a lot of Twitter goers and Facebook goers and social media goers are all like, oh, they're talking crap, they're so old, they don't know what they're talking about, and that's I disagree with that, because they have been making films for youngs, and they do know what they're talking about because they have created loads of films. But at the end of the day, if they don't know much about the series, then what?
Well, you can't say because somebody's been making films that they understand Marvel movies. They don't.
No, that's what I didn't say. I mean, they understand film. It's just like,
But they understand their films.
well, they understand film in general. They should anyway. This is why I don't understand why they're making these comments.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, as far as I go, like, I just think they're saying I don't like Marvel movies, and that is my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
What they're saying about this
But why don't they just
diminishing the
say that?
film experience, all that sort of stuff. Tell you what, mate, when was the last time you bought a ticket? When was the last time you went out and bought popcorn?
Yeah.
When was the last time you went with a group of friends to the cinema? Never. I'd be very surprised the last time you were not one was a premiere.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
So
more than likely.
I don't think their film experience is anything anywhere close to embedded in what the reality of Joe Public's is. So that's one thing I would say, is that his movie going experience is not the same as any normal person's.
It's just director experience, really. It's
So but I mean, altogether, I would say that, you know, obviously famous people jumping on. What you do notice is they're not in Marvel movies.
yeah, but
So
that's another thing as well. Like, I mean, are they saying that anyone who acted in these films, or, you know, are they not cinema? Like, do they not bring anything to the cinema? Do they not bring anything to drama? Do they bring anything to comedy or action? They're all actors at the end of the day. And the fact that, like, I can't wait until some of them hopefully come out and say something. And if to be fair, I don't think any actor that's in any of the Marvel films is going to be cast in a Coppola or a Scorsese film. And that's not to say that they're bad actors, it's just to say that they're not all gangsters. So, I mean, it baffles me to say that the huge cast in all of these films, to say that they're all pretty much not cinema, they're bad films. Like, all the actors in it they've won awards. The films have won awards. Like,
yeah.
I mean, people say statistics don't matter, but sometimes they do.
Well,
you know, like,
I mean, the fact that the revenues are...
It speaks for itself, really. But I mean, it annoys me that, you know, actors came from very small roles to getting into even bigger roles. Like, even your woman for Rogue One, she was in a small TV role before.
Felicity Jones?
Mm.
Is that her name?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But
Felicity's definitely her first name.
Yeah, but she was in a small TV role, like a British TV role, and now she's in...
Are you talking about Daisy Ridley?
No. She was in
She was in
Casualty. wasn't
Casualty?
it? Yeah, that's right. But no, she was a small actor as well, yeah. So
I thought I'd seen her before Rogue One.
you probably have, but I mean, that was her big film, really. But prior to that, she was in smaller things, like British things, basically. The way that normal British people get British actors get to that sort of stage, like John Boyega and stuff, they all got to that sort of stage. Like, he was in
Tenant.
Yeah, so I don't know. It annoys me that they don't take into consideration the people that were in the films and who worked in the films. Like, you can have an opinion on a film, but to say that they're not cinema is just ridiculous.
Yeah, it is a bit silly.
I know I've said that I don't know how many times, but to me it's just repeating it in my head is just, it baffles me. It really does. It just confuses me.
Yeah,
I don't know why they said it, but they've said it. It's out in the public now, so
we'll see who else comes back.
Mm-hmm.
As I say, so far we've only really read the 2 responses, but
James Gunn hit the nail on the head, I think.
More or less, which is just,
like, I'm not a fan
opinions
of
are
westerns, like, but I'm
opinions.
not gonna say they're not cinema.
like, opinions are opinions, but you know, they're not for everyone.
Yeah,
and that's just, I don't mean the movies, not opinions, but
just the way it is.
exactly. But yeah, we'll call that a part, folks, and we'll see you in part 2. Welcome back to part 2. So, as mentioned, we're talking about the new Star Wars trailer, which we've literally just watched again.
I'm just
it's
sad
so good.
I'm just sad that it's happening, really.
Like,
I mean, not in a bad way. Well, yes, in a bad way, because it should never end.
Yeah.
It's just, I suppose it has to at some point, but the trailers are...
They're amazing.
There's no words for them, though, is there? Like,
They're
like
amazing.
we even talked, we just obviously watched it there 2 seconds ago, and afterwards we were like, trying to think of what even happened in the trailer. You're just like, I can't because
it's just so good. It just it's one of those ones that it just sort of washes. As you're watching it, just completely washes over you. You're just involved. Like we literally
be class if you watch that on the in you know the
VR sort of thing. Yeah.
You'd be absolutely like, oh, I'm the pilot.
Like obviously,
I am the director.
There's lots of by the looks of it, there's lots of lightsaber action. Seems to be a good few throwbacks to Return of the Jedi as well. Obviously, looks as if on reflection, I do think that is Rey at the start. Because she deflects like a bullet back the way, and it definitely looks like her clothes. But there's a part in it where I wasn't sure if it was like a young Leia or whether it was
an Endor or something.
Yeah. At one point, I thought it was a young Leia because of the hair. Now, again, I could be wrong, but I originally thought it was a young Leia.
I don't know. I think she's got a lightsaber and stuff, and she just checked that resistance helmet before as well. So.
But you don't know. Because now this is going back to the previous canon, which is no longer, which was that Leia actually was training to be a Jedi. She was a Jedi. So what happens if now there's no basis for this whatsoever. Like no, honestly,
trailer.
There's no basis for this. Like not even one. Well, I tell you, actually, hold on, right? There might be. Okay, so
here we go.
In The Last Jedi, she can use the Force. How did she know how to do that?
Well, she's been trained.
So who trained her?
Well, look.
You would guess. So how? Like, there's no way he trained her whenever they were old.
Only in yeah.
So
yeah,
there's potential that she may have had her own lightsaber. Probably not, but she might have. She might have been using Luke's old one. No, because that was lost.
Yeah.
Okay, but then the only other option is she has her own lightsaber because that was blue.
Yeah.
Right? So, but it could be on Endor, but then that would have been like almost directly after. And then who knows, maybe she gave up because she was pregnant and didn't want to hurt the baby or something.
I mean, I think it's Rey, but again, it does, yeah, well...
You know,
see, now you've said that, it's just playing back in my mind now.
I think, was it?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? But it's because it's really well put together. Because
that was an old helmet.
Yes, that was. It looks very like Leia's helmet.
So
from whenever she was a bounty hunter.
Yeah.
In episode. What? In episode what? 6. So.
No. I don't know. There's too many factors now because it's.
I maybe way overthought that. Like that seems.
Yeah, but now
it seems like a pretty.
Made me think as well.
It seems like a pretty deep dive that could even be real, but it would be cool if it was.
But then again, you've all.
Now that is only the first scene, like literally the first scene.
Rey, surely, like they wouldn't.
I mean, you know what? It sort of links in with Rey, training in the original trailer because it was originally
got my own shoes.
Got my Nikes. No,
my Crocs.
It's just like, because she cuts a tree down.
Yeah.
And that is in trees.
Yeah.
So there's, but I still hold like my theory would be class.
It would be, but
it's probably unlikely. Let's be honest. Like,
it's a very long film though, so you could potentially have a little 20-minute thing of that and be like, oh, that's cool, and then but then again, I don't really know. I don't know what way this one's gonna. It all like we don't know what's real and what's not. We don't know where things are. Where like what's the vision, what isn't the vision, what's
Well, no,
that's the problem. So
based off the first trailer, I know we're talking about the second one here, but based off the first trailer, I do think it looked as if Leia was training Rey.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that first scene is her getting trained.
Maybe, yeah.
Because it looks as if she took over from like Luke, because Luke's obviously gone.
Yeah, he's gone.
But then the other thing is, I suppose that.
But you could always use the Force and train her that way as well, because.
But maybe she's not there yet. Maybe he can't. Maybe he isn't there yet.
Yeah.
Because he has to find the way, as
true.
Mentioned in the prequels. But anyway, so.
But then it could be. I don't know how far along this one is though.
It's. I would say it's a bit of a time jump, but not massive.
I dare say, but then again, Luke was probably one of the smartest Jedis out there, so he's probably got there already. So.
General Snoke's dead.
Look.
Oh, if he's a General Snow, I was like, no, sure, I get done in.
No, I said Luke was probably one of the smartest Jedi, so he's probably
Yeah.
there, I'd say. I mean...
Well, yeah, because
he also
Yoda...
had Yoda's, so...
Yoda was his mate, wasn't he?
Yeah, exactly. Yoda's probably like... I'm not gonna do it. Just come here. Look, come on. Start stand the road, mate.
Here you must come.
Oh, it's a weird porno.
But you know, it's one of those that obviously that's literally, this is what they do though. Like, this is the first scene.
Yeah.
Like the first clip. We haven't even spoken about anything else, which is far more exciting.
I know. It's literally a woman chucking a helmet down, running through a forest,
deflecting a blaster.
Or deflecting, yeah. That's literally it.
Or somebody could be trying to kill her.
Well, yeah. It also could be a 2-second vision. That's just like a flashback or a nightmare. It could be a nightmare. First she's sleeping and she's running through a forest trying not to die, and then that's it.
Yeah.
It literally could be anything. We're just focused on this part.
But next part is, I don't remember because it was really, is it her standing on the Death Star wreckage? Rey?
That was fun.
No, it's Finn pulling down the
wee
binoculars.
Goggles, yeah.
And then it's
again the exact same. It's funny because I mean,
same clip.
It's the same clip with John Boyega coming up in a Star Wars in the Star Wars in the Star Trooper outfit and just looking in the distance. And now he's been, I'll put the goggles down and then look in the distance. It's the exact same clip.
He loves the distance.
He does. He loves it. Yeah.
And then we've got Poe basically saying, if we get enough good people together, they'll fight. And then it's Rey on the Death Star, I think, and she's basically saying, nobody knows who I am. And then you hear as Kylo walks towards her through like an unbelievable looking, like, that scene looks class.
It just
all
looks
the
like
water crashing, and
something.
he's like puts the lightsaber up behind his arm, and he just goes, yeah, but I do, and you're like, oh.
Obviously you see them later on as well, fighting on that part. Well, training
or training.
Again, I assume it's training. I can't imagine.
I don't think it looks like training. I think the speeder bit in the first is in him going. That looks like training. That doesn't. I
think it is though, because why would they be training together then? But I'm gonna hit you again. So
maybe because he is evil as of the end of Last Jedi. So there has to be he's not going to just show up and be like, hey, sorry,
I killed everyone.
Sorry about that. But like, you know what I mean? Like, he's not gonna do that. It's gonna be there has to be a point where he's still bad. So I would say, now this is based.
Why would he train someone to then go again? Maybe he's like, I'm gonna train you to the best of my ability and then see if I still come out on top.
But maybe there is a point where that turns. So for example, maybe he's bad at the start, because remember the bit where he's like slamming the boy down and all in the first trailer with a big red. Remember, it's like body slam. He's like freaking killing everyone. And then this one, there is like, for example, the part where, now we're jumping a wee bit further into the trailer, where they both kill what looks like a Darth Vader thing.
It's like a statue or something.
Yeah, like they both stick their lightsaber into it at the same time. It like crumbles. But you know, whenever you start like sort of thinking, mixing the trailers together, there's definitely a part where he's not good.
Yeah.
And it looks, but then again, at the end of The Last Jedi, they were fighting together, and he was still bad.
This is what I'm saying. Like, we don't.
But he wasn't bad, but he was.
I think he was just confused. Really.
Like, I don't think he's fully dark yet, in boiled in the dark side. I think he still has light in him, and I think he will potentially at the start of this still be trying to figure out what is going on. Like, will he be slipping into the dark or not? I mean, and that again is solely based off the fact that he does like pure murder stuff in the first one we've seen, and then in this one there is a bit that looks like they're gonna fight on the Death Star. It doesn't really look like a place for conversation.
Yeah. And
then there definitely are bits where it looks like they're maybe not gonna fight.
Well, I don't know. I mean, like you said, the first one could have been him killing loads of people. The second one could have been him sort of transitioning between dark and light, and then the third one would just be him turning completely into the light and being like, "Oh, cool! Now I get a blue lightsaber, or a green one."
I don't know whether. Well, maybe, you know what, he could. I don't know. I've been wrong.
Because it is called The Rise of Skywalker, so technically
he is the only one.
It should, yeah.
There's no one left.
Yeah, it should be.
Well, Leia,
but I would assume The Rise of Skywalker means he's gone from the bottom, as in dark, to the top, which is he's risen to the light. You know.
You'd hope so, because he is the only one left, like with the Skywalker blood in him. Well, keep saying that, but Leia is in the movie. But they've only got a limited amount of things they can do with her. And I wouldn't be surprised if she dies in this movie.
Oh. No.
So I wouldn't.
I don't want that.
I could see her slipping away. Yeah.
I really wouldn't want that to happen, just because. See, this is the thing, right? I've always got this thing about, like, whenever actors die, and they've got a film releasing posthumously, I hate whenever they get killed off.
But think about it, right? Han dies in the first.
But he's not dead in real life.
No, but he's dead in the movie.
Yeah.
The plan was to have the third movie all about her anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Luke had, so it was Han's movie was the first one. It was very much surrounded him.
Yeah.
Second one was Luke Skywalker, obviously surrounded him, then he dies. And this one I think will be very central around Carrie Fisher. But I do think she will die.
Yeah.
As in, not Carrie Fisher, she is dead. But what I mean is, I think Leia in this movie at one point will pass.
Mm. Maybe she'll just join Luke then at some point, because obviously he is gone as well, and Han.
How she dies, I have no theories.
I just hope it's old age. I hope. I hope
like a Yoda death.
Yeah, like I hope what happens is she's sort of finished with her journey, and what I mean by that is like she helps these. Well, it helps Rey, I would assume, and potentially Kylo. We don't know.
Mm-hmm.
To some sort of success.
That would be class, you know.
And then she's
if he did help Kylo, and then that was her like.
Yeah, like her like.
Like he witnesses her dying, because you remember in Last Jedi, he can't shoot her.
Yeah.
He can't kill her.
Uh-huh.
With the ship, obviously.
Yeah.
But that would be a really nice.
It'd be a nice send off. I wouldn't want her to like.
Where they reconcile.
Yeah.
And then she just is like, I've done what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I can go. And then she just fades.
Well, I think that would be the better way to go. I wouldn't want her to get blown up in a spaceship, and I wouldn't want her to get
shot or murdered by her son.
Kylo being.
My God, imagine that.
But you know what I mean? Like it has free reign now, because like we don't know. This is the last film, so there's no sequels after this. There's no well that we know of. There's no. It just ends. Like it could just end with anyone dying at any point, because the characters aren't going to be reprised again. So.
Yeah, and obviously we see 3PO. He says,
"Oh, don't even start me on C-3PO."
In the we see like there's a lot of sort of sweeping shots of like cities and ships, and you see the Star Destroyers and things like that.
Yeah.
Now obviously we mentioned 3PO there. He's getting wires put into the back of his head. Part of his head plate is missing at the back, and he's sort of.
There's a little fellow with a screwdriver, like.
Yeah, like a wee alien on the top. It's like a really small one, like chipmunk size, and it's doing some work to the back of his head, and he just says, somebody asks him, like, what are you doing, 3PO? And he's just like, I'm just taking one last look at my friends. And then R2's like, no! And then he puts his hand on him as if to be like, it's okay, mate.
Yeah.
And then Chewie's like, oh, because he's also raging. And then...
I'm raging, never mind Chewie and R2-D2. Like.
But again, you link that back to the first trailer. He has red eyes in the first trailer. I think it's got something to do with that. Now, could that... I don't think he'll die, but if... the red eyes means that maybe he's like forgotten or something. Maybe that's why he's saying that. That to me, that would be so much worse. Yeah. As him not knowing who they were. And
I wouldn't want that the C-3PO, just because I mean, it's funny how you can get so attached to a character that's not really. They're not really that much. They're not. I wouldn't say they're not a big part of it, because they are. Yeah, but they're not
anything in all the 9 movies.
They're not the main characters per se, but the fact that he's a robot as well, like he's got compassion, he's got feelings. It's just weird that he's like you can relate to him in so many ways, and if he was to go in any bad way, or his memories wiped, or he gets thrown into the bin basically again, I would be very upset, because I like him and I like R2. I like the couple. I like the pair, but you can't have 3PO without R2, and you can't have R2 without 3PO.
Oh, it's just that whenever that's said, you're just like, as in the trailer, you're just like, no. Obviously that said, you see the Emperor, you hear a bit more from him, basically saying it's all coming together as I planned, or whatever it is.
Of course, it always comes together, because the bad guys always win, don't they?
So there's a bit there. You see a lot of fleets. You see that big scene. You see Lando in the Falcon. There's a lot in that.
There's a lot to unpack.
And
really.
then 100%. And
but again, we don't know exactly where parts come in because it's a trailer at the end of the day, so we don't know what parts are real, what parts are made up, and we don't know. It's incredibly put together, but I'm just not ready. I mean, it's literally like 2 months away, and I'm not ready for it to go yet.
We can do a preview. We'll do a wee preview episode at some point as to what we think's going to happen, and have a think based on like trailers, Last Jedi.
I'm not watching that trailer for at least another week. It's gonna upset me.
There's a part in the trailer where the music kicks in, and that's the only way I can describe it is the music.
But it's after 3PO's like that, and then it's all like action, and then it goes, and you're like, oh Jesus, goodness. No!
Like, just if you haven't watched the trailer, we've been talking about it for like 20 minutes. You have to watch the trailer.
Well, the score, I think, in any film usually makes the film. Like Jurassic Park has always had a great score. Star Wars again, Marvel, they're all the music makes the film sometimes, and this trailer, it's one of the best trailers out there. I think personally, like I could be biased because I like Star Wars, but I mean, if that trailer doesn't give you some sort of goosebumps or make the hairs on your neck stand up, then good grief! Like no. I'm interested. Do you remember your man who reacted to the first trailer?
Yes.
I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna see if he probably has. I'm gonna watch his reaction to that trailer.
It's bound to be worse.
Because if he durned the first one and doesn't do this one, I'm gonna kill him.
There's something not right because that one, in my opinion,
it hits you in the feels though. Yeah, 100%.
You know, because again, like, if the first trailer didn't make you go, this is it.
Yeah.
This trailer will make you go, this is it.
Yeah. It made me go. This is it. Whenever it was that line from 3PO, I was like, you know what? I'm not ready for this at all.
No.
Like, I wasn't expecting it. Like, because obviously in the first one we had no idea what was really going to happen. We only seen a few snippets of certain things. It's like, oh, cool, Baron, blah, 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 this is going to happen, that's cool. And this time it sort of gives you a bit more insight to what happens in the film. And I'm not looking forward to it. I'm just not.
I'm not good whenever people die in movies if I care.
Oh, we know.
I tell you now, if there is a scene where Carrie Fisher's Leia,
I'm going to go to the cinema at the same time you and Rachel go and see it, and I'd be like, where's Clark? Hey, where's he at?
It may be my second viewing by the time I go and see it with her, because I don't know if I can not see this at midnight.
True,
because
true.
If anything about this is ruined for me, oh my goodness.
True.
It's like
we may have to thingy-majig then. We may have to come together at some point and see who else wants to go and see it at midnight.
Yeah.
I would mind seeing it midnight as well.
As I say, I'm very tempted to do the 3.
Yeah.
Because I think that'd be really cool. Yeah. I'd be really loving that.
I'd be living in the toilet that day, like if I do.
Yeah. But yeah, look, we could probably fill another 3 hours just on the trailer. So we'll call it there, even though there's a lot more that we just haven't spoken about in the trailer.
Yeah, like you said, you need to go watch the trailer. Like it's so much to unpack. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, so we'll call that a part, folks, and we will see you in part 3. Welcome back to part 3. So finally back on the boys, obviously after last week's wee detour around the Joker. So you have a wee synopsis if you want to.
It does actually. Okay, so this is on IMDb. This is a fella's with this. So at the Believe Expo, we'll get into that in a minute. Starlight talks with teens while being quietly directed to push an agenda, while Butcher has Huey meet Ezekiel. Excuse me. The Expo host. I should have started that again. Meet Ezekiel, the Expo host. We'll get into that again. And their next lead. Maeve feels guilty for letting Flight 37 crash and visits her ex-girlfriend Elena, but leaves before explaining herself fully. Butcher takes time to talk to Rachel, his sister-in-law, over putting a tombstone to Becca. After Adrian kills Popclaw for betraying him, such a stupid name that, Popclaw, he finds surveillance footage of Frenchie. After Homelander exits a meeting with Ezekiel, Huey extorts Ezekiel for information about Compound V. Homelander rallies the crowd with an impromptu hardline speech, energizing the crowd. Starlight breaks script to honestly open up about how she feels about her faith while also publicly revealing her sexual assault. She walks off with Hughie coming by to comfort her and to explain himself about Robin's death and needing some means of coping. Butcher and Milk discover babies exposed to Compound V to manufacture suitors. Frenchie discovers 7-member Black Noir is looking for him. Attempting to escape, he is told to leave the female behind, but releases her out of sympathy. She seemingly dies protecting him from Black Noir, but then awakens from her wounds immediately heal.
Yes, okay. So, we start off obviously at the Believe Expo.
My voice went like halfway through there. I was like,
so the Believe Expo is basically a Christian get together.
It's a conversion festival.
Yeah, it's quite grim to watch, to be honest.
It's disgusting.
Yeah,
it is.
It's grim to watch.
I don't care what religion it is. It's just disgusting. If anyone had that expo, it's like believe in God, believe in Allah, believe in blah blah blah. Anyone that goes to that,
it looked a bit grim.
It's called the Believe Expo. Like
Ezekiel is the guy up top, and true to form, he is hypocritical, and because he's the guy from the club at the start that was basically gay, kissing all the guys and stuff.
The gay angel, as everyone's calling it at the minute, because obviously Ezekiel was one of God's
angels. And then so he's obviously there, as you said. The plan is basically get close to him, but Hughie is there with Starlight. Starlight's there representing in her old uniform because it's more family friendly, she says.
I think obviously because it's a Christian festival, you can't be too provocative on stage either.
No.
So she has to wear it because, again, like you said, family friendly.
Yeah, that's what Vault tell her as well. But anyway, so she's obviously, as you say, struggling with the agenda. She tries to tell her mum that it feels different. Her mum's just like, look, I've basically done everything for you. Do this thing for me. Do exactly what you're told.
Well, she says that I herself has been waiting for this moment.
Yeah.
All of her friends will laugh at her because of the embarrassment stuff. And obviously whenever Starlight goes into that like little AA meeting type of thing.
The kids ask her questions.
Yeah, obviously it's not Alcoholics Anonymous, but it's like
they're all sitting in a circle.
It's a Q&A to her to sort of see what way she's been brought up in her religion and her beliefs and stuff. And whenever the kids ask her, or whoever asks her these questions, like one of them was like, did you ever have sex before marriage?
Are you a virgin?
Are you a virgin? That was one. Yeah, and she was like,
everybody wants their first to be the most special, and the minister looks at her as if, tell them you're a fucking virgin.
Yeah, she's like, I'm a virgin.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, man. I know. And then obviously whenever she leaves that, she wasn't very happy. And Hughie's like, oh, it's okay.
Can you get me tickets? Because
that's right.
In the meantime, he says he doesn't want to go with her. Then he bumps off and goes and sees Billy.
Because your woman's there as well. The vault.
Yeah, because she would know who he is.
Yeah.
Because she settled the murder
between A-Train and
or the what do you call it? It wasn't murder, but I think it was more manslaughter because you didn't actually mean to.
Yeah, probably right. Probably the correct way to put it there. Yeah.
Well, he killed his girlfriend.
Robin.
Yeah. So.
Batman.
She obviously knows who he was, so he didn't go with, and then he meets up with Billy and other
Milk.
What do we call him?
Mother's Milk.
What?
What?
Why you say Mother's Milk?
That's his name. Who are you on about?
Black guy.
Yeah, it's Mother's Milk.
Holy crap!
How did you know his name?
I don't really pay attention.
Mother's Milk.
There's only like 3 characters I really like.
What, Hughie, Starlight, and Billy?
Nah, I don't really care about Billy, to be honest. But
what? Who's the third character?
Maybe it's only 2.
What, Hughie and Starlight?
Yeah.
I think it's maybe only 1 now.
Might be. But no, but obviously them two Mother's Milk, that's amazing.
Yeah.
But so basically they all bump into each other. Hughie is basically told, get a 15 grand ticket in, extort Ezekiel with the gay video, which then gets broken because his phone gets broken because he gets
baptized.
But thing he knows, Homelander basically comes into the tent whenever he asks, because Starlight obviously isn't too pleased about getting him the 15 grand ticket for free.
Yeah.
But he comes in and he realizes that Hughie's like, he's suspicious of him, isn't he? Like, he tells him his blood pressure and all, and he's like, your blood pressure's very high, and he's like, oh, I'm scared of water, and then he basically almost drowns him.
But I'm pretty sure you've seen him at the track as well, didn't he?
He's seen
Billy, but I think he's seen him with Starlight as well, because they were together, sure.
But Starlight didn't see Homelander.
No, but sure, he was across the thing, sure. He was looking at them. I'm pretty sure that happened.
I don't remember.
Whenever they were having their little date at the, like she was like it was in the pitch place where they did the race.
I remember him being there, but I don't remember him seeing them.
No, not like face to face. It was like from a distance. Like it was.
Oh,
like,
well, maybe he did.
You've seen his face before. Like I'm pretty sure.
Speaking of Homelander, completely random and might be later on, but that bit with the lying in her lap is weird.
Oh, with the
like basically she.
I thought he was gonna start sucking on her nipples or
breastfeeding her.
I was like, what's happening here?
Like instantly, I was like, oh my god, she's given birth to him.
Ooh.
That was the first thing I thought.
Oh, yeah, right, no,
I was like, because of the baby part you've already mentioned.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, she gave birth to him. That's his mum. That's not somebody he wants to have sex with. That's his mum, and he's jealous of this new baby.
Yeah, well, I mean, we all knew that, right?
But
could
that be why?
Yeah,
could that be why?
It's disgusting if it is, like, but
like I thought the whole time he was trying to bang her, but it could be that she's his mum.
And he just wants a bit of
attention.
No, Betty.
Oh no! Imagine it was. Imagine it was.
If anyone doesn't know that reference, go and watch Little Britain.
Betty.
Great.
But imagine.
So he's in the tent. He gets back into the.
Basically, he almost gets drowned.
You've been a naughty boy. You're grounded.
Inside for a week. Yeah. But he almost gets drowned, and then.
Well, the reason why the phone breaks is because he's got it in his pocket, and he gets baptized. I know, and then he's like literally, like you said, he almost gets drowned by Homelander. He's like holding him underwater for ages. Brings his arm, he's like, and then after that he comes out and he's like, "Hey, thank you." And then
he's got videos of.
Yeah,
my friend's got videos of you butt fucking me or something.
Yeah, well, he says that there's a video, and then he like brings out his phone. He's like broken. There's like, oh, and he goes, oh, you did me up the ass.
Yeah,
and he's like, what? He's like, yeah, in that little bar over there. He's like, what? Yeah. I'm gonna talk. He says.
Yeah. And if I don't come back within the next hour, my mate's releasing her or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But it's quite good. Quite good the way he does that. But he's very
quick in the mark.
Yeah. And then obviously that then leads into the part where you're talking about Starlight. Now we're talking very specifically about the Believe Expo at the moment. There is sub stories going on.
Yeah.
Such
as
it's
all in the same area. It's like the Believe Expo
Adrian
is still
finding
happening.
out about Frenchie, and then Frenchie having to go on the run
because he obviously sees the video.
But that's a very small part, so I'm leaving that to the end. But anyway, so Homelander obviously then is like, where is Sidwell?
Sidwell, yeah, the woman.
I don't think it's Sid, is it? Sigwell?
Stillwell.
Steve Sidwell's a footballer, or used to be.
So many random names. I mean, the amount of names going on in my head now.
What's your name again? Sigwell?
Stillwell.
So,
oh,
that's awful. So basically, he goes and finds her, and it's just like, that baby's an accessory to you, which now makes sense if that is a super. But anyway, he's like, that baby's an accessory. I'm sure you don't really even care about it and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. Which is where I started going, is she his mum?
Yeah.
That's where it like, no, I hadn't seen the baby part yet, but I was like, she's his mum at that point, and I have no idea why.
I mean, it makes sense. It's either he's obviously jealous of the kid, but why else would he be jealous of the kid if you weren't some sort of sibling? Yeah. Or
I guess that person.
Well, maybe obviously all the babies are there, but obviously she could be the one that's bringing them all up. So she's obviously got some sort of connection there in some way. So. It might not be his mum, but it could just be his carer that was the one that was there for him.
True.
Because he was one of the super babies that were born randomly.
Weird though, isn't it?
But anyway, it's disgusting.
So
it's a weird incestuous show.
But see Game of Thrones. But what do you
call? Alright.
So he's obviously goes to see her, and then going back to the expo, we've already sort of spoken about how Starlight is like. Basically, her mum is saying, I've brought you up to do this. I want you to do this. This is going to embarrass me. It's all very self-centered. And then Starlight tries to say to her, look, this is nothing what I thought it was going to be. The mum wouldn't listen to her. And then she goes out and does the speech. And the speech is real. I thought it was really good.
Her own speech, yeah.
Where she breaks away and starts to actually speak. I thought it was really good. I know it's obviously not her saying it, but I genuinely thought it was good.
Yeah, well, I mean, the stage was massive, and the people were listening to her. And she's just like, "Listen, this is me telling the truth here. Stop the music. This is me as blank as can be." And then she just starts talking about her experience.
I don't know about this, that, and the other. Love God, but I still don't know. Anybody tells you they do, they're lying. And then she says about the dick in the face thing. She doesn't actually mention him though.
No, she says that she was sexually assaulted basically at as soon as she joined the Seven. Basically, yeah.
And he's just like, oh shit.
He's watching on the TV like, oh god.
Yeah, he's got like crystal over his mouth. Yeah. And he's in a bit of bother because of the dolphin thing. It's on the news.
Yeah, but I reckon he'll get killed at some point.
Maybe. I mean, he's at least gonna get kicked out of the Seven.
You'd expect so. I mean, always on the second series. He's terrible. Don't like him at all.
Who, him?
Yeah, the Deep.
He's a bit irrelevant now because at the start you sort of believed he was a big deal because you didn't know any different. Yeah. But now you realise he's just a fish guy.
Yeah. He's the fish guy. He's Aquaman.
But obviously, and she admits all this openly. And then Huey goes to find her, and as you say, like she's
not in the best mood.
No, he's like that was amazing. She's like, oh, what else do you want? What else do you want for free?
Yeah.
You know, that sort of thing.
Basically trying to get that he's using her for stuff.
Yeah, and then he just openly says, look, my girlfriend died. Randomly. He just goes, my girlfriend died. She's like, what?
What?
And then he just sort of says, my girlfriend died and I haven't been coping and blah blah blah. Basically they have a nice wee embrace and a hug. But you see, I'm totally pro them, you know, getting together. But my only thing is now is that he needs to tell her he put dynamite up a super's ass and blew him up.
Yeah,
like he is a murderer.
But so, yeah, I mean, translucent is a bit.
He's bugged her phone.
Well, he has to come clean at some point. He has to
he has asked her to do things to benefit his fight against.
But she is also getting to that point where she doesn't like the Seven either.
Yes, but he's lying.
Yeah,
she isn't.
It's true.
So there needs to be
anywhere like so.
No, it doesn't. Just being honest instead of being underhanded. But like, the whole thing is that I'm totally pro them. You know, being like a wee couple at the end.
As long as he says the right things, like.
But because they seem, I know it's only a TV show, but they are like they suited well, like the way they get on and stuff on camera seems to be quite sort of.
It seems like quite natural, quite genuine. Yeah, which is good on their part for acting that. So,
but I like that wee bit. I thought it was nice. And then
nice little embrace.
Basically, that's all you really need to know from the expo. And then the next part that we're going to talk about would be the Frenchie. So Adrian basically has seen him on the CCTV out of the bear.
It's only Frenchie he's seen as well. Isn't
he can't get anybody else's face. And
which
then
is for Huey anyway.
Yeah, because then they find out he's got like a load of aliases, load of addresses, and Homelander basically calls Adrian in. Remember, and they have that like really awkward. Have you dealt with her? Yes, I've killed Popclaw because he sticks all the heroin things in her arm.
Yeah, that was. But like,
I've seen it coming. I thought he was gonna break her neck though.
Yeah, so did I. I mean,
that's way worse.
It isn't though.
The heroin thing, I'd be way worse. I'd be like, you'd be looking down. You'd be like, oh no.
I thought you meant to break the neck's way worse. No, I think the heroin thing.
The heroin
is a lot worse. Yeah, but the fact that I don't know what's going to happen now because if someone finds it, did he say he buried her? Did he say no?
He might. Because that's what I thought he was going to do. Just go poof, like run through her. And then she'd just be
That's already happened, mate.
But he could have.
Yeah, it's
or
true.
Or could have broke her neck, but that was way worse.
He could have like punched her
heart
out.
But then if somebody finds her, she's just got loads of drugs in her.
Yeah, but you're not gonna put them like that there and then be like, oh, I'm unreal.
She might be if she's killing herself.
True, but why would she do that?
To kill herself?
But why would she do that?
You don't know. There's no note. And then, so you could just assume it's suicide. But again, he obviously then deals with that. Frenchie gets a phone call from his woman. I don't know whether they know who she is. She's super.
No, I don't think so.
No? Okay. I wasn't sure because in the first episode I thought she did something weird.
No.
But, so basically he gets a phone call from his woman. He says, you're caught out basically. Then she breaks her phone and disappears into the night. He, as you say, releases the female. Is she any other name?
No.
Awful. Just reminds me of Sunday night or Friday night dinner. Any females? So what do you call it?
No, Dad, no females.
Hey, don't say it, Dad. Females, but like the so that's all it reminds me of. So he releases her basically after trying to make her a dinner, didn't he? A dinner, and then she like knocks it over basically.
Yeah.
It looked
really nice dinner, yeah.
It did. So she knocks that over, and then he eventually releases her.
No other name. She was Katana in Suicide Squad.
Ah,
there you go.
She's not in it much, is she?
No, not really.
Well, she's probably in the screen a lot, which doesn't really do anything.
Yeah.
But then no one does. Apart from Harley Quinn, Deadshot. But anyway, so yeah, so she basically runs away as soon as he undoes her handcuffs and stuff, and then he runs away, gets caught up with by Black Noir.
Black Noir, yeah.
Wasn't sure if it was Dark Noir or Black Noir. So Black Noir catches him. She's basically like, right, get out of there. She's like, run away. And then he does. And then Black Noir does take a bit of a beating, but basically rips her to bits.
With like ninja stars or something, isn't it?
Like knives. I wasn't sure, but rips her to bits anyway, leaves her for dead.
Sure. Ninja stars.
Then he like shows up, because I think he's throwing knives at her.
Yeah.
And then Frenchie shows back up and is like, oh my god, what have I
think
done?
that fight scene was unreal.
It was really good.
Really good,
Yeah, it was really good. And then he puts the he puts his jacket over. And then next thing she's like, Wolverine.
Yeah, and she gets all healed up and stuff. But obviously we forgot about the babies and the compound thing.
In the meantime, Mother's Milk.
Mother's
Milk.
It's called Milk for short.
Milk and Billy are on their own sort of wee side quest. Billy goes, as you said, to see his wife's sister-in-law. Basically, you find out she's been missing for 8 years or something. And he's, no, like, I'm not having it. He smashes up her gravestone that they've just had put up. And then Milk and him go to the hospital because they're following the Compound V and find that they're dripping it into a baby who has, like, blue laser vision.
Oh, that was unreal as well.
Yeah, and then, but, like, it hits, like, the top of it can't get out of the little baby thing. And then whenever people come in, he's like, I've got an idea.
Yeah.
And keep him busy there. And then he like goes and grabs the baby and like just rips him to bits.
Uses it
and then it's the bit where it like stops and he's like, oh. He gives it like a wee shake and then holds its head and just like cuts its head off. And I like at the end where he goes up to it and he's like, now you get yourself in the straight now.
I'm gonna come back for
I'll
you.
stomp you. Quite funny.
That's unreal.
But as you say, they're manufacturing soups using Compound V in hospitals.
But that also goes to show that he might be alright with the like soups, just not the 7. Even though he has his like death the old soups and stuff. But the fact now that he knows they're,
as soon as you find out what happened to his wife, we will understand. What the issue is with specifically the 7 and probably Homelander. Yeah. Because we know he's a bit of a bad bastard. There wasn't really anything more to say on Maeve apart from she walked out of
Homelander's
speech. Basically said he hates speeches, and she seems to be sort of falling out with him too.
Well,
so,
I think that's fair enough. To be fair, I just hope it's her that kills him.
Yeah, I would like to see her kill him, and I would like to see Starlight be
the leader.
What?
The leader?
No, I don't think she could be. I think not yet. I don't think she's earned anything.
I don't really know what can happen, because if someone's the leader of the 7 by the next series, then there's no really next series, is there?
It depends.
Unless it's like they try to like it's now another like angle where someone's.
Where else are there supers? Like there could be English ones or.
Yeah, true.
You know, Canadian ones, or I don't know. There could be European supers that get involved in the next one. So.
Well, it is all the same guys. The next one then.
Is it? Okay. Well, maybe not then, but maybe there'll be another big bad.
You would have to, yeah.
Or maybe it'll be like the 7, or a new 7, and like Maeve. Now again, for anybody that doesn't know, I literally have not seen anywhere past episode 5. Everything I say is completely made up. So maybe in the next one, if Maeve survives and kills Homelander, I don't know if he dies, but if he dies, he dies. But like if he dies, which I'm assuming he does, I have no idea.
What film's that from, Cracky?
Are you joking?
I know.
Oh right. Rocky. Okay.
Who says it?
Says a quiz. Ivan Drago.
What's his real name? Oh.
He has an episode in.
No, that's not his real name. What's his real name?
No, but he has an episode
What's his real name,
in Dolph Lundgren.
There you go. Correct.
But you know how I remember that?
Because it sounds like a dolphin.
No.
Okay.
Because there's the episode of Big Mouth where they go to the mini golf.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But so stupid.
Oh dear.
But usually I could pick his name up in 2 seconds, but just because it was on the spot, that's literally how I had to go back through it in my head. But anyway, sorry. So, if Homelander dies, it would be class if Maeve did it. After all, she's had to go through and like witness.
Yeah.
But it'd be cool if there was a new 7 in.
Yeah.
And then the boys were like made up of Starlight, Maeve, the female, and the guys.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'd like that actually.
Be pretty sweet, wouldn't it?
They have to take down the other 7.
And then if Billy's wife comes back, if she's the bad guy in series 2.
Ooh.
That'll make for some juicy watching. Or she could be part of the boys. But
I think I prefer she was a bad guy.
Sigwell.
Stillwell.
That's awful. That's honestly Sig something's in my head now.
Siegfried.
So Stillwell, yeah, be interesting to see whether she's in series 2 or not.
I hope she'll die.
I don't know. But it's one of those funny one.
I reckon if it's either Stillwell or Homelander dies, it's either one.
Or both at the same time.
I reckon Stillwell will probably die in this one, and then Homelander will go completely rogue, and he will be needed to be stopped for the next season. I reckon that's what'll happen. He'll bring all the babies with him and be like, "Baby army!" To be fair, could you imagine? Nah, I'm not gonna say it because I was thinking that, and I was like, if I say this, there's gonna be an awful lot of like females and males coming after like, you can't do that with babies. No, that's I mean like as in like I was gonna get like ropes and all, and then just swing them around like little lasers. But obviously they're babies, so they can handle it because they're not gonna be hurt.
Well, they're super as well.
Exactly, so they've got super strength and stuff too. So.
But anyway, that was the boys. I personally think that has kicked off the series for me properly. It got me really. I really wanted to watch the next episode. Whereas after season 4, episode 4, I did not feel that. Whereas after episode 5, I was like, I just want to put on 6.
I think season 4 was good in terms of acting, but in terms of action, it was meh. But episode 5 is dead. It's episode 6 is next now, so
only a few left.
Yeah, 3, 4,
3, I think.
It's 8 or 10?
6, 7, 8.
There's 8 episodes. Okay.
Yeah, but as I say, I texted you like after I watched it, and like straight away I was like, "Yep, Starlight's now like one of my favorite TV characters." I think she's
and rightly so.
She's very very good. She's quite moral in it, but she's also like willing to admit she isn't perfect. You know, all that sort of stuff.
As everyone should really. I mean, no one's perfect, but everyone can get on like they are.
Yeah, so
which really frustrates me.
I'm definitely as I say, after the first few episodes of The Boys, I was not 100% there, but I'm definitely on board now. So yeah,
good.
Class, good. Very very good. But yes, I completely forgot to look a quote up for the end.
Do we tell some dad jokes?
Do you have some?
Oh, I've always got some dad jokes.
I was just gonna use a quote.
Well, you can use a quote. It's fine.
Be good, and if you can't be good, be careful.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, yeah, that's good. That's good.
Do you want to tell one?
I've got a funny one.
Go.
Tiles can't tell jokes. Got a dry sense of humour.
Very good. That's a good one.
Do you want to know?
Yeah.
Why did one banana spy on the other?
Spy on the other? I don't know.
Because she was appealing.
Nice. I was going to say because they had nice skin. That's a bit weird.
I used to be afraid of hurdles, but I got over it.
Nice.
I'll do one more because religion. How does Moses make coffee?
Don't know.
He brews it.
Ah, nice.
I'll add that one there. But yes, nice quote. Very nice quote.
Alright, so yeah, we'll call it an episode, folks, and we will catch you next week.
Bye.